Module 2, it's about mathematical model of physical system. Okay, let me take a pen. Yes, so this is the concept. So what exact this mathematical model defines? uh, uh, so mathematical, the name itself defined, like it will be an set of equations. Okay, I will just define its definition. I will just write down what does mathematical model, the statement. Okay, so mathematical is model is nothing but it has mathematical equation. Definitely it will have mathematical equation. See, what is the purpose of this mathematical equation? So it will describe, okay, it will describe, I will write, it will describe the dynamic characteristics. Remember, the dynamic characteristics of a model. See, I can give you an example. Okay, so the example, let it be, okay, I hope you have seen this example. Can anyone tell me what example is this? I will just write it for you. Can you describe this? Anyone? Anyone from the group? What is this?
Spring damper system.
Yes, very good. And if I tell you, so this is a mathematical model. Okay, when I apply a force, okay, with respect to, that is t, that is the time is an remember, you should understand the first unit. Okay, whatever the system that we are taking, so it will be time invariant system. Okay, it is a time independent system and all variables are dependent on time. Okay, the entire system is time invariant system. So force is f of t and this is x of t, nothing but when you apply a force, or it could be an applied force or a self weight of a mass m. So when the force is applied, okay, so what will happen? So there will be an displacement x of t. See, for this you can write, okay, a mathematical model. Mathematical model. And then you can analyze this. So that is the concept. See here, you can read the statement, modeling of physical system. We can consider any physical system. If you want to analyze, if you want to know what is happening, so you need to rewrite, okay, you need to write in the form of a mathematical equation so that you can understand. So in simple words, I can tell you here, my input will be f of t. Am I right? So f of t will be the input and x of t will be the output. So if you want to know the performance of a system, it will be the output by input. Okay, so you remember this terminology in control engineering, that is the word transfer function. This is very much important. So it is nothing but ratio of output by input. So then you will understand the performance of an any system. So we need to derive this output by input, then only we will come to understand how a system behaves. Okay, the nature of a system. Okay, so this is I will let you know how to write the mathematical model. Okay, it is will come in further classes. Okay, just you understand, if you want to model any physical models, so first step is to write its mathematical equation or its differential equation. So we can consider this is a mechanical system, okay, and you can consider electrical. You can consider, see, we will consider all electrical, thermal, hydraulic, pneumatic. Okay, step by step we will solve and derive its equation. Very simple. If I show you how to write its differential equation, it's very simple. Okay, a simple logic is there. So followed by, you can see analogous system. So here nothing but, so this is a mechanical system, and again, so if you see here, we are using three elements: mass, friction and spring. Similarly, we can consider an electrical system also. So in the electrical system, we will use a resistor, inductor and capacitor. So with these three elements we will form a circuit, and again we will understand its nature. And you can see here the important term, direct and inverse analog, nothing but the relationship between mechanical and electrical. Okay, so if you see this model, I will write in terms of mechanical. Okay, in mechanical mode. The same can be replaced in electrical terms, that you will understand. You just remember a mechanical system can be represented in terms of electrical terms also. So you just understand that point. Okay, just remember that point. While explaining with an example, I will let you know what is direct and indirect analogous. So this is complete one set. So if you see, these two will complete one set, that is modeling of a physical system and analogous system. This is one set, and here you can see a block diagram. So here any system can be represented in the form of block diagram, any complicated system. Okay, so a complex system you can represent in terms of block diagram. And what you will do, so you will resolve, see, final last equation will be in terms of transfer function, the same. So you will have n number of blocks. So for example, if I show, so this is the input, and you may have, this is a block. Okay, so just an example. Okay, so input, and so these are the blocks. I can name it as 1, 2, 3, 4, and finally I will get output. Okay, now, so this is input and output. Okay, in block diagram, if you see here in this, so this is an example for a block diagram. So this will be reduced. Okay, if you want to measure the transfer function, what is that? Output by input. So this will be reduced and represented in a single equation, so that further, see, my transfer function I will write in simple way, TF, transfer function, that is equal to output by input. Okay, so how to further analysis? See, this input you can vary, see, output you can check. So how to do that? I will rewrite this transfer function into input, that is equal to output. So for the further analysis, this input term you can change. You can give, we have some standard inputs, step input, ramp input. So this is how you analyze a system. You can change this input. What happens to the system when I give a step input? What happens to the system when I give a ramp input? What happens to the system if I give impulse input? So following are the different inputs we will study, okay, in module 3. So this is a brief introduction of module 2. What we will be doing in further classes. We will be considering few physical models, and we will be rewriting in terms of an equation, mathematical equation. That is first set. Similarly, we will consider some complex block diagram, and we have some rules to follow, and we will reduce according to the rules, and finally we will be getting an transfer function. So this is block diagram, right? Similarly, the same block diagram can be represented in signal, how the signal is flowing from input to output. Okay, the same simple, all will have its own direction. Okay, so this is forward action, and you may have the reverse action. So based on this, we can see, same I can represent. See, this is a block diagram, right? So how to represent it in signal flow graph? So you will be having an input, so just represent in dot, and we have from this point to this point, so that is 1, and this is one more point, and we have from here to here we have 1 2 3, and we have one more block here, and finally the output, and from here we are getting one more signal in the backward direction. So this is signal flow graph, SFG. See, the same, both are same, okay, both are same, and these are represented in terms of blocks, and this is in terms of signal, and we have different rules, okay, to resolve it. Nothing but you will be given some complex system, you need to reduce step by step, finally you will be getting this transfer function, that is output by input. And similarly the second set, say there will be a signal flow graph, again you will be solving based on the certain rules, and last thing is obtaining transfer function. Okay, so this is module 2. The next module will be the further, see we have a transfer function, and we will change the input, and we will analyze what will happen to the output. We will take simple input like step input. Okay, we will consider a simple first order equation, first order system, and we will check what will happen to the output. It's like a story. I hope you understand this. Okay, so this is module 2. So let me move on to the, okay, so here as I said, in physical models, okay, so in physical models, as you see in the syllabus, see we have mechanical model. See, notice this: mechanical, electrical, thermal, hydraulic, and pneumatic. So total 1 2 3 4 5 models are there. Okay, we will consider example from each. Okay, maybe from mechanical 2 we will consider, electrical 2, and thermal, hydraulic, and pneumatic. Okay, we will consider the examples, and we will further resolve that. So this is the first one, physical model. Under this I can take the first segment as A, that is analysis of mechanical system. Analysis of mechanical system. Okay, so this is the first one. Similarly, you will be having analysis of an electrical system, second, and thermal system, hydraulic system, and pneumatic system. So when I consider mechanical system, here you need to understand the motion involved. See, in mechanical system, the motion can be of different types. See, this is how it will be. Okay, so the important will be, I will write this as what kind of motion that is included. So what are the, as you know, I will just write it for you. The first one is translational motion. Okay, this is the first one, and the second one is rotational motion, and the third one is combination of two. Okay, so I will write just 1 and 2, or else combination. combination of 1 and 2. Okay, so this is uh, the motion involved. See, because I can give you in case see, this is the example, the first example, where you can notice what kind of motion is acting here. Anyone from the group, can you tell me?
Translational.
Yes, perfect. So it is a translational motion. And similarly, rotational. See, you should understand what happens if it is a translational motion and what happens if it is a rotational. So it's the same question I will ask. In case if it is a rotational motion, what will come into the picture? Is it force or something else? In your case, yes, perfect. So torque will be the your end result. Okay, the terms will change. See here we are having displacement, right? In case of rotational, anyone? See, when I apply a force F of t, you have a displacement. Okay, you consider it is a rotational motion. So what will be the output? What will be the result? So it will be
Angle.
yes, angular displacement. Perfect. Okay, it will be an angular displacement. Yes, good. Uh, that thing it should come to your mind. So that is how your fundamental will be strong. See, it's very simple. So in case if you apply a translational motion, it will result in a displacement. If I put, so that is the end result. So if I apply a force on any object, it will move. So the movement will be a linear one. That is the displacement. So the same, if it is a rotation, it will be an angular displacement. So same in translational, you will be having a velocity, acceleration. Same thing here. All are angular. You need to add the term. Okay. How to measure that? Again, we have some different picture that I will explain one by one. Okay. Now, let me consider the first one, translational motion. Translational motion. Yes. Now tell me, what does it mean, translational motion? Simple definition. Come on, guys. It's very simple.
Linear motion.
Linear motion, yes. See, any motion which happens in straight line, in other words, or in linear way. So that is a translational motion. Okay, so I will just write down motion taking place along a straight line. So that we call it as an translational motion. Okay, so here, okay, see, remember, now I am dealing with mechanical system considering translational motion. So the entire that could be a best example, spring mass dashboard system. So for that system we are not applying any rotational motion. Okay, so we are applying only translational motion. Now we will coming into the picture. So if you see, in analysis of mechanical system, we had a 3 elements. Okay, so 3 elements. So if you remember that sketch, the first element was, I will represent that as mass, and the second element was spring, and the third one is friction. Okay, so now we will consider one by one and we will write its force equation. Okay, nothing but its mathematical equation or differential equation. Okay, so in the system, so if I scroll up, uh, see, this is the example that I have considered. We had uh, friction, friction, spring, mass. Three elements are there. Okay, so for this individual element, we will consider its force equation, and later we will combine that so that we will get a mathematical model. Simple. So for mass, okay, if I consider the first, that is mass, okay, so as you know, mass does not store any energy. So that is like the property of a system itself, which will store the kinetic energy of the translational motion, and it can be measured in terms of kilograms. Like if you, I will just write down a sketch where you will understand. So we shall have a mass m, okay, on roller support. So meaning this will symbolize zero friction. Okay, and we have m, and so what we are doing, we are applying force F of t, and we have displacement x of t. Okay, so when I apply a force F of t, okay, so there will be a displacement x of t. So here, if I want to write in terms of force, okay, it will be always proportional to the acceleration, okay, produced by the mass m. So in simple terms, I can write, if I want to write the force equation, so I will just fix this. Let me fix. Okay, so here, if I want to write the force equation, simple equation, that is mass into acceleration. Okay, what does this acceleration? So this is rate of change of velocity. Again, I will represent in terms of m into double differentiation of x of t with respect to dt. So velocity will be differentiation of x of t by dt. So acceleration, that is rate of change of velocity, will be represented by mass into double differentiation of x of t by dt square. Okay, now so this is the first when we consider mass. Okay, so the simple thing is, whatever the applied force is there, right, it will be transformed in terms of displacement. So it does not store any forms of energy. There is a simple concept. So mass doesn't store. If you apply force F, so it will be the output will be in terms of displacement. The same, okay, the same I will represent in terms of Laplace transform. Okay, now I will write this as f of t. Okay, so this was in time domain, and later I will convert into an S domain factor. See why I am applying Laplace transform? In order to convert this differential equation in terms of algebraic function. Okay, so that is the reason we are applying Laplace transform. So this you need to see. I will give you the list of formulae. Okay, see, list of formulae, just note that I am not going to derive that. I will just write down the formulae. What is the Laplace transform of this double differentiation x of t by dt square? Okay, so it will be represented in terms of S domain. So why we are doing that? In order to reduce this differential equation in terms of an algebraic function. So this will be, as I said, f of t will be later replaced in terms of f of s. So this is S domain when you apply the, and mass is constant, it will remain as it is m. And so we have double differentiation, this will be s square, this is the formula, s square x of s. Okay, this is how will you rewrite when you apply Laplace transform. In case if you want to come back to the same function, then you need to apply inverse Laplace transform, that will give you the same function. Okay, you have formula. Okay, I will provide you the link as well as that list of formulae. Just see that and remember this. Further this Laplace transform will act as a prerequisite, okay, before studying this. So this will act as a prerequisite. So this will the Laplace transform, I hope you will be already undergone in maths. And very simple, we are not making any complication here, simple formulas. Okay, the same thing will repeat. Okay, what if the Laplace transform of difference, like first order differential, that is dx of t by dt, so that will be, it will not be s square, it will be s into x of s, that's it. Okay, so integral will be 1 by s. So simple formulas that you need to remember. So this is one case. Whereas in mass, I can consider one more case. Let me draw it for you. So let me consider this as m1 and this as m2. So both are under roller support. If it is a roller support, so meaning it is fixed. Meaning it is zero friction. So this end is fixed. Okay. And now let me apply force F of t. See, someone from the group, I need what happens to the displacement with respect to m1 and m2. How will you represent the displacement? Okay, I will make it easier. Will both m1 m2 will have same displacement or it will be changed? Consider it as a rigid connection. Okay, so this as rigid joint. Yeah, now tell me, will m1 m2 will have both like same displacement or will it vary? Yes, come on, you can tell me. Prakash. Bharat. Hey, don't you have Infosys training? Rutvika. None are here.
Hello, sir.
Yeah. Infosys training, don't you have?
It's in the afternoon.
Afternoon. Okay, fine. Can you tell me why, like, will the both mass will have same displacement or will it change? See, this is the previous sketch. You can see I represented with an zero friction, and so this is x of t. When I apply, that mass m will have x of t. Now I have two m1 and m2. This I will symbolize as a rigid connection. When I apply f of t, will it have same displacement? If I measure x1 M1 with so if I measure M1 with x1t, okay, tell me M2, what is the displacement of M2? Even, let me answer, even M2 will have the same x1 of t. Why? Because as I said, the mass will not store any energy. So, and we have a rigid connection, both M1 and M2 need not be x1, it will be having x of t. So, both will have same displacement. Okay, that is the concept. We shall move on to the next, that is linear spring. The second element, linear spring. So let me explain with the help of a sketch. So fixed, so let me have a spring, okay, spring constant. So if I apply a force f of t, and it will be having a displacement x of t. Now tell me, what is the difference between spring and mass in terms of energy? Like, as I said, the mass will not store the energy. What does the spring do? What kind of energy it will store? Yeah, answer me please. So when I apply a mass f of t, okay, so you will be having a displacement x of t. The thing is, the spring will store potential energy. So I will represent the force equation. So my force equation f of t will be equal to, so k, that is a spring constant, multiplied by x of t. And if I apply the Laplace transform, so what will happen? It will convert to S domain. K into, k is constant, x of t I will just rewrite as x of s. So I will give one more sketch which you will understand the importance of. So we will have two mass m, m2, and let me represent this as m1. Okay, so it will be having a joint connection with m2 with spring, and both, let me take, both are fixed. So both are fixed. When I apply a force, okay, f of t, now tell me, so neglect the friction to the surface, okay. When I apply a force m1, force f of t, so what will be the displacement? So the displacement will be, it will change. So for m1 I will write it as x1 of t, and for m2 it will be x2 of t. So this will be the displacement. So why the displacement has changed? Because we have a spring, that is k, which will store the energy. So the amount of force supplied to the m1 will not be the same amount to the m2, because we have a spring in between which will store the potential energy which will alter the displacement of M2. M2 displacement definitely will be compared to M1 it will be less. So it will be having a different displacement. So if I want to represent the same, so if you consider this as a mathematical model and I can represent in terms of mathematical equation, so f of t, okay, so k I will take as a common outside, and we have mass m as well as I will just represent for this spring, okay. So I will neglect m1 and m2. So if I represent the force equation for this spring, so that will be x1 of s, sorry, let me, x1 of t, it will be in time domain, x1 of t minus x2 of t. So if I apply Laplace transform, so this will be f of s k into x1 of s minus x2 of s. So this is the equation when a spring has a connection between M1 and M2. And the final, so the final one is friction. Okay. So here, so we will be having three forms of friction. The first one, just write it for you, viscous, and the second one is static, and the third one is so Coulomb friction. So out of these, okay, we will consider viscous friction because it is linear, okay, linear in nature. So we will consider the viscous friction, which is represented by B, that is the friction constant. So you can simple, the representation will be in this form. So it will be called by the name dashpot, so or else you can also call it as damper, okay. So same thing in case if a mass, so a mass m, okay, if there is a friction B, so if I apply force F of t, so you will be having a displacement x of t. So how to represent the force equation? F of t, so that is equal to B is the friction constant, and you will be having rate of change of displacement. With respect to rate of change of displacement, the force will be measured, that is dx of t by dt. And again, if I apply the Laplace transform, f of s, that is equal to b into, so as I said, if it is a single, so you will be having s into x of s, okay. So this is the force equation for a friction, okay. I will just revise the today's discussion one by one so that you will be having more clarity. See, the first thing is, I said mathematical model. So why this mathematical model? If you consider any physical system, you need to write the mathematical model, so then only we can do the further analysis. So how to represent that mathematical model? So it will be in terms of mathematical equation which will express the dynamic characteristics of a system. So in simple terms you can call it as transfer function, ratio of output by input. And so how many physical models are there? So for this module we have mechanical, electrical, thermal, hydraulic and pneumatic. So we will consider example from all models. So first we have considered mechanical system. So in mechanical system there are forms of force like translational, rotational and combination of two. So we have considered the translation motion. Under that mechanical elements are mass, spring, friction. So how to represent force equation of a mass? So that is mass into acceleration. So acceleration can be represented by rate of change of velocity, that is d square x of t by dt square. Finally you can represent, so you should remember this, okay? So this is the function, okay? So if I want to rewrite, okay, the force equation f of t for the complete model, okay, you need to write the force equation for mass plus you need to write the force equation for friction plus force equation for spring. That is what I have done individual, one by one. See, for the mass it is f of t is equal to m into d square x of t dt square. So just replace here. In terms of mass, write down the equation. Similarly, I have shown you what happens to the spring. So spring equation is here. And finally, friction, that is f of t into b into x of t. So if I write all three together, so that will show you the force equation, nothing but mathematical model. So for mass, so the equation will be mass into acceleration, that is represented by d square x of t by dt, plus for friction constant b into rate of change of displacement dx of t by dt, and finally spring, that is k into x of t. So this is f of t. This complete differential equation you can rewrite in terms of Laplace transform. If I apply, f of t will be f of s, m into, so this will be s square into x of s, and b into, so this will be represented by s into x of s, finally k into x of s. So this is the algebraic function, okay, representation of a mathematical model which is subjected to translation motion. So we can write in this way. So similarly, we shall consider one more example when it is subjected to rotational motion. So for today class, I hope this is enough. So I will post you the link, okay? If you are not able to understand, you just see the video again, and any queries you can reach me out. Thank you.